What is going on, everybody? It's the Frauds, and we're here for AEW on TNT review for last night's very good episode of AEW. And it has been said that these empty arena shows are wearing thin. They really are. They are definitely wearing thin. They are just terrible having to sit there with no noise. Now, AEW does what WWE will not do. The first time this happened, the first week that this all went down, that AEW had to do a show. And they took it to Dallas Place, which was originally supposed to be in, where was it? Where Brodie's hometown. They had a few people out there, and it made a little bit of noise. Then the next 2 weeks, they didn't have anybody because of restrictions in Jacksonville. They moved out of Jacksonville last week. Had some people in the crowd. This week, they had way more. This week, you had Danny Jordan, an independent wrestler who was on the Circle Squared on NWA television on YouTube a couple weeks ago. She was in the crowd. There were many talent that they're probably using doing these tapings out there in the crowd. Of course, you had Jimmy Havoc, Sammy Guevara was out there, the Gun Club was out there. Just so much out there, and you could actually hear them. They made noise. They were reacting to the matches. They were making it feel like there was a crowd there. And that is the best you can do for this. Is it better than having 20,000 people in? No, but it's better than having nobody. The fact that WWE is going to be taping on a closed set this coming tomorrow. 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 We're going to be filming on a closed set for SmackDown all the way to next Thursday. And not one of those shows is going to have a crowd whatsoever, and those shows are going to pale in comparison to what you see here for AEW. So, as we knew, if you were actually paying attention to social media over the last few days, AEW advertised that Chris Jericho would be on commentary with Tony Schiavone for this episode on TNT. And I'm going to be honest, and it's really not that hard to see. Chris Jericho killed it on commentary. He was absolutely phenomenal. This is one of those guys that, of course, talks a big game, can talk for himself, and is one of those guys that if he wants to, when he's done wrestling, when he says, you know what, I am tired of having my body being hurting or everything else, and he wants to call it a career in ring, he could be Excalibur's partner on Dark, or he could be anywhere else. Maybe that third show gets him as a commentator. Chris Jericho would be fantastic, phenomenal, being in the commentator position for anywhere, whether it's AEW, the English version from New Japan, anywhere. That would be great. So Lance Archer walks his way to the ring, and as soon as he gets in the ring, he drops his opponent with a big boot, gets on the turnbuckle without even taking his vest off, pounds his chest, and just poses. Lands a few shots, his opponent does. He does let his opponent get in a couple licks. And then big elbow, lifts him up, hits the blackout, 1, 2, 3. Lance Archer is your winner. Now before that, I forgot to mention this. When we opened the show, we see Jake Roberts walking around the chair. He sits down and says, "My history will not be my destiny, as spoken by me." If someone steps in the ring and would think they have a prayer against Lance Archer, if someone does, they're done. They're done. We saw what happened to Marco last week, and I know what happened to you, Marco. You're an idiot for doing it. I know you wanted to try and show people that you're a badass. Nobody else wanted that match but you. He tells Cody to not let this match against Shawn Spears slip, so he doesn't have to face Archer. He asks Cody, "Are you a man or a mouse?" So we did have the Lance Archer match. It was nothing but a squash, and then we go into Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida. This has been advertised for a couple days. This was phenomenal. These two went out there and just kicked ass, took names. Even Britt Baker had her nose messed up, to the point where it possibly is broken. But she wrestled the match, and it was like halfway through the match, she's still going, and it went from a little bit of blood to her entire front of her face was bleeding, and it made her look more sinister than it did before she didn't have that. Before she didn't have the broken nose. So Twisting suplex cover for a 2, Baker with a kick to the face, a bloody Baker smiling on camera, it just looks so awful. Like the fact that she had this, and Jericho mentioned how it was deep blood. It wasn't just little. I've had a ball thrown hit my face, hit my nose, and a little blood comes out, and it's not that bad. This was just oozing from her nose, from her left nose, I believe, and left nostril, I'm pretty sure. And the smiling with the blood, she's wiping the blood from her nose for a little bit. She ends up on the apron, both throwing forearms now. Sheeta brings Baker in for the second rope. Baker rakes the eyes, kicks Sheeta off the ropes. Both end up on the second rope again. Sheeta lifts and drops Baker on the turnbuckle. Brings her back in, hits her with a running knee. 1, 2, 3. Hikaru Shida wins the match. This match, I swear, went 25 to 30 minutes long. This was a long match, and honestly, any other time would have been a hell of a main event for an episode on Wednesday night, any time of the week, any time of the year. So this was a really good match. I don't know what this is going to do towards the women's division later. This was one of those matches that you sit there and Jericho was praising the entire match. He was like, every so often he'd be like, this is a really good match, or this is a great match, I'm enjoying this. This was the best women's match I have seen all week. From WrestleMania Night 1, PC Mania Night 2, Monday, tonight, or last night. This was the best women's match of the week, plain and simple. And yes, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair had a great match with the wrong winner, but that's for a different argument for a different time. This was fantastic, and you know what? There wasn't a championship on the line. The only story in here is that Sheeta has won 7 of her last 8 going into this match. However, coming out of it, she's now 8 of her last 9. And Britt Baker, jealous that she can be, wanted to win this match so she could knock Sheeta down a couple pegs. Even Nyla Rose on Twitter tweeted after the match she was hoping that Britt Baker could have knocked Sheeta down a couple pegs, but that didn't happen. So, good job for Sheeta and Britt Baker. Hell of a match. Congratulations. Want to see more of this. WWE needs to take notes from AEW on how to book 2 or 3 hour shows of close set. I don't want to see on SmackDown this Friday 2-minute matches or 3-minute matches. Look at what you did with Aleister Black and Apollo Crews on Monday. I want to see 10, 15, 20-minute matches. It cuts down on you having to use archive footage just to give people a sense of what crowds were like before all this crap happened. And if WWE is using a loophole to say that they're essential because they're in TV media, which they are, put some NXT stars or people in the freaking crowd so you don't have an empty, closed, quiet set, because those are getting annoying. What they did with AEW on this show, with the crowd being there, was great. It helped out the match, the show, 100%. Now, earlier in the day, Omega was in the dressing room with Nakazawa and says he's feeling super nostalgic since they haven't tagged in years, and he saw the card that they are going to be facing the Best Friends. He says they need a name. Nakazawa says Best Friends. Omega says there's already a team with that name. Nakazawa says Omega's a VA. He just change it. He says he'll think about it. Orange Cassidy comes in randomly from a different room. Trent and Chuck Taylor walk in and they say they heard everything and don't appreciate you trying to take their name and livelihood. Trent and Chuck say whoever wins their match tonight gets the name. Then we get the power rankings from AEW's rankings from Excalibur with Jake Hager, Kushida, and the Dark Order at number 1 in their respective divisions. How Jake Hager became number 1 contender is beyond me, but I guess if you want to justify him getting a AEW championship opportunity next week, I guess that's what you have to do. The recap is a feud between the world champion Jon Moxley and Jake Hager in an empty arena no holds barred match, which will be happening next week. Hager says he fights to provide for his people he cares about. We see clips of him training. Hager's wife is in the house and they come back. She says they come back as winners, or they don't come back at all. That's the mentality, and that's the mindset he's been dealing with for years. Moxley comments on how he hit Hager with his DDT, but found himself in an ankle lock real quick. Called that a humbling moment, but since it's no holds barred, that changes everything. Jake says Moxley will get hit harder than he's ever been hit before, and that he wants them both. He wants to be both Bellator Heavyweight Champion and AEW Heavyweight Champion. I think the Bellator Heavyweight Championship thing, which he did mention, that he has been in. The reason we haven't seen him wrestling until Revolution is because he has been in training camp for weeks for his match. He was supposed to be having a fight for Bellator on May 9th until all this broke down and all this stuff happened. So here he is now, getting a World Heavyweight Championship match that will be happening next week. JR will be on commentary for that, so I cannot wait to hear that next week. We get a recap of the road to the TNT Championship from this past Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, this past Monday, with Cody talking about Warner Media wanting the TNT Championship, a belt will represent not only the promotion, but the channel as well. Cody says this is, with his record, it's appropriate to him to be in the tournament. Shawn Spears says winning the match and the title would be a way to put him on the map. He's been waiting 8 months for a rematch. He talks about how hitting Cody with the chair says he'd do it again in a heartbeat. Cody doesn't think Spears can beat him. We get into our next match, Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa versus the best friends Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. So we have ourselves a tag team match, which was supposed to happen anyway, but I guess stakes were raised because it's either Chuck and Trent will stay the best friends, or Kenny Omega and Nakazawa will get the name best friends. Why? Shawn Spears is now in the crowd telling Nakazawa to impress him. He's still looking for a tag partner again. Winner of this match gets the name best friends. Taylor and Omega get started. This match went a good bit. Here you have Nakazawa spraying oil on Trent and Taylor. He goes to do it to Cassidy, spraying him, but his glasses blocked it. Nakazawa takes the glasses, tosses them. Cassidy puts in another pair. Nakazawa tries again, no luck, while the referee was distracted. Cassidy with a suicide dive onto Omega. Omega and Taylor back in the ring. Omega chops them down. Towards the end of the match, Nakazawa moves his jockstrap. And this is just nasty that he does this. He gets his jockstrap off. And then takes it, wraps it around his hand, goes to put the claw on Trent's face. Doesn't get it done. No, he smashes it in Trent's face, I'm sorry. Omega with the V-trigger. Nakazawa covers, no. Nakazawa goes for another one, misses and gets it on Omega. Eat the feet, super kick combo. Cover. Omega breaks it up. Trent with a jumping power driver. Cover. Nakazawa kicks out. Strong zero on Nakazawa. 1, 2, 3. Best friends stay the best friends, while Nakazawa and Omega just walks away. Then we get more Vince McMahon parody bullshit that needs to stop. This guy is a hell of an in-ring talent. This guy is a hell of a talker. And the only thing that he thinks that he can do to get himself over is to mock Vince McMahon. I've had enough of this shit. I'm not even going to go over the segment because I am sick to death of the Vince McMahon shit. Just let the shit go. You had a shitty time in WWE. So did Matt Hardy. So did Jon Moxley. They've had frustrating things backstage. Yes, they were in better positions than you, especially Jon Moxley at the time. But you don't see them building their characters off of a Vince McMahon parody. Why are you? You gotta stop. What you do in the ring, you go out there, you beat up people, and you win your matches. That's fine. But this Vince McMahon parody stuff has got to stop. It's stupid, and it's not gonna get you over. It makes you look like a loser and proves to us why Vince McMahon had no faith in you if you're just going to sit there and parry the man. Grow the fuck up, move the hell on, and become who Brodie Lee is instead of a Vince McMahon parody. Anyway, backstage, Britt Baker has bloody nose and asked about her match, and she thinks Hikaru Shida lived up to being the number one contender. She says, no way, being number one is about being a leader, and Shida is the dirtiest person she's been in the ring with. Shida is just lucky she didn't mess up her teeth, but she could have fixed them anyway because she's a dentist. Yes, we heard that at Memphis a bunch of times in their match that she is a dentist. Yes, I know. It takes a lot to I'm a dentist. You have to be passionate, just like if you want to be a doctor, a regular doctor, or anything that you do in any type of field that you have to go to college for and work years and years and years to get. Yes, it takes a lot of passion, it takes a lot of dedication, but you don't have to keep mentioning, oh, she's a dentist. We get it. More clips of Jon Moxley and Jake Hager. Moxley wonders if Hager has what it takes to dig deeper than him. Nobody is better suited for a no-holds-barred match than him. Moxley says there's no scorecard or judges. Hager's only option is to go through him. I'm going to fuck you up. That is that. Then we go to the Cody compound, and he responds to Chris Jericho's comments from last week. He called him the hole of the ass. Oh my god, it's just funny stuff. Hole of the ass. Making fun of the Elite, but he should look at some of the guys he surrounds him with. He says, the Spanish god Sammy Guevara, he is a false god. He's not even a real Latino. If I said, he said something in Spanish, I can't remember what it was, but he then says, proud and powerful, portly and devourable. Because he loves Puerto Rican food, and he can't wait to take a bite out of Santana and Ortiz. Because he says, Jake Hager, he's smart, he can talk for himself, he's got this intellect, he's strong, but you have him brainwashed. Jenkenstein. All he needs is 2 bolts in his neck to complete the process. He doesn't appreciate Jericho trying to recruit Vanguard 1, and he asks Jericho, especially after that shirt he put on there, but he asked Vanguard 1 for the shirt. Vanguard 1 comes in, but he's not equipped with the Jericho shirt, he's actually equipped with one of Matt Hardy's shirt, and Matt Hardy's like, that's not the shirt I was looking for. Even though I love seeing the wonderful essence of my own t-shirt, what's the shirt that Vile Jericho gave you? Vanguard 1 said it was fire. And Van Hardy's like, fire? What are you talking about? Vanguard 1 says a dumpster fire. Then we cut to a burning pit with the shirt in it, burning up with in a fire. And he's like, oh yeah, it is a dumpster fire. And then he invites Chris Jericho to the Hardy compound to face him in a match, the Elite Deletion. This would be a lot of fun to see what they do with this. This is AEW's, if this is going to happen, which will probably happen in the next few weeks, it's not going to happen next week. Next week's already has Lance Archer versus Colt Cabana and the AEW World Championship match as 2 matches that you want to watch next week. Those are your 2 big matches next week. This is going to be something that happens probably 3 weeks or so from now, 2-3 weeks from now. But I can't wait. The only thing I have to say is that after this promo happened, we didn't get an answer from Jericho, so no idea when or if that match is going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. You wouldn't have Matt Hardy propose that match on TV if it's not going to happen. This will be for anybody who didn't like the Boneyard match, if you didn't like the Firefly Funhouse match, if you never liked the compound match between the Wyatt family and the New Day, the Ultimate Deletion from Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the what was the one that the one that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt did, what the hell was theirs called? If you don't like a cinematic movie type feel for a wrestling match, then you're not going to like the Elite Deletion. But if you love the Boneyard match, if you love the, the Firefly Funhouse match, you're going to love this match. So anybody who loved the Boneyard match, this is going to be a match for you. This is going to show you how Matt Hardy will be able to do what he wants to do with Jericho. Both of them are going to have great ideas for this. Matt Hardy's going to show you how he and the Broken Universe was the one to popularize this entire thing. Yes, I know Impact Wrestling has done stuff like this before him, after him. Or the Lucha Underground used to do stuff like this too with the backstage stuff. But Matt Hardy's brand, the Broken Universe, popularized this for a lot of people, so I can't wait to see when the Elite Deletion match happens, but it will happen, and it's going to be something worth watching. Brodie Lee versus Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson comes out. Brodie Lee comes out. You have Lee Johnson go for a drop kick. Lee just walks out of the way, and he drops him down. Lee with a big boot, and then There's down Marco Stunt, who's at ringside. Lee is with the senton from outside to inside. Lee with a back elbow, half and half suplex, spinning slam, discus clothesline, 1, 2, 3, and that is that. After the match, he comes down to the ring to the face side of the crowds, the crowd that was there, because there was a crowd. There was at least 10, 15 people there, so that's a crowd. That's a small crowd, but it's a crowd. And he just walks past everybody and he just stares at Marco Stunt. By the way, Austin Gunn had a husky there for some reason. I don't know why, but he had a black husky. Looked awesome. He's staring down Marco. Marco's waving like, and you just see the smirk come across Brodie Lee's face. So he's targeting Marco Stunt. Why? We'll have to wait and see. Did a recap of the history between Cody and Shawn Spears with a clip from the first 2 times the wrestlers met in the ring. Cody got the win in that match. The first time the 2 wrestlers got in the ring, which was at what? Fyter Fest? Or All Out? It was All Out, yeah, All Out. Cody with his wife Brandi versus Shawn Spears, first round of the TNT Championship tournament. I do like the fact that the TNT Championship tournament first round is going to be over the next 4 weeks. They could have did the first 2 matches this week, 2 matches next week, and then just have it be a 3-week tournament. But I like that they spread it out. It helps stretch it out. It gives other people opportunity on the show to show them what they can do. And it's just great to see. So Cody. Now, the ending of this match, I have never seen this before, and Jericho mentioned it too, but I've never seen somebody get a win the way Cody did this week. Goes for the C4 as Shawn Spears does. Cody reverses into the crossroads. He hits another crossroads. 1, 2, kick out. It surprised everybody in the crowd. It surprised Tony Schiavone. It surprised Chris Jericho. Cody can't believe it. It surprised him too. Then he locks into the figure 4. Shawn Spears fights for a minute, but he starts fidgeting. Both arms are down. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes beats Shawn Spears by pinning him with the figure 4. I have been watching wrestling for over 20 years. I have never seen that before. Never. I've never seen somebody use the figure 4 leg lock as a pinning. I know I've seen people get a 1-2 count, but I've never seen somebody win a match with the figure 4 by pinfall. I guess it's the first time for everything. Cody moves to the next round. He'll face Sammy Guevara or Darby Allin. Next week it will be Colt Cabana versus Lance Archer. The winner will take on Dustin Rhodes or Kip Sabian. They did not announce when Kip Sabian versus Dustin Rhodes or Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin will happen. So that is going to be interesting to see. It have to happen not in 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. So overall, outside of the stupid Vince McMahon parody stuff, which is getting old very, very quick. It's old as it is. This was, again, another great show. I give it up to Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker giving you one hell of a women's match. Tag team match was pretty good, too. Shawn Spears and Cody went out there and did what they needed to. Brodie Lee and Lance Archer both look strong coming out of this week's episode. Now, Lance Archer's first real test is going to be next week as he will take on Colt Cabana for a shot at the next round in the AEW tournament with the AEW TNT Championship. What does this mean? Will we see Colt Cabana beat him? Will we see Colt Cabana lose? I feel like Colt Cabana is going to lose. If Cody goes to the finals, Lance Archer is going to the finals, and it's going to come down to Cody and Lance Archer. I don't think that's going to happen. But Lance Archer is not losing. I think Lance Archer is going to be the first ever TNT champion. I just don't think it's going to be beating Cody. I think either Cody, Darby Allin, or Sammy Guevara wins the match against Cody. And if it's Darby Allin versus Cody, Darby's gonna win, and it's gonna be Darby versus Lance Archer in the final match of that. And I think that would be fantastic. I could be wrong. It could be Cody versus Lance Archer, but that just to me seems a little too obvious. And I don't think AEW wants to go with obvious when it comes to these matches. So we will have to wait and see. That is your AEW on TNT review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter, The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. I'm going to be playing Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap here in a few hours. You want to check that out. And find me on Instagram at The France Club as well. Until then, my name's The France, and I'll see you guys later.